What's up, my good people, and welcome back in to the Bully Boss Show on Sparks TV. I'm your host, Nino Sparks Don, aka the Mid Range Bully. Now, got a great video for you, as always, but before we get started, if it's your first time tapping in, or maybe you've tapped in before, go ahead, tap that like, tap that subscribe, tap that notification bell, stay tapped in. Let's get it. So, with the trade deadline being just a week away, I figured I'd jump in, give you my thoughts on the Dejounte Murray trade, the potential Dejounte Murray trade, which seems almost imminent at this point. We're hearing a lot of speculation, as far as what the Hawks were asking for, as far as what they're asking for now, and what they're probably going to have to settle with. Because let's be honest, you're probably going to lose this guy eventually. You're going to probably lose Trae Young eventually. But before I get ahead of myself, let me break it all down, how it's going to make sense. So we're hearing the trade package initially. The Lakers didn't want to add Austin Reeves. It was just Dejounte Murray, that 2029 pick, along with, I think they were offering JHS, Jalen Hood Shafino, in the package as well. But the Hawks weren't pleased with it, as they shouldn't be, and it makes sense. And I want to separate two things, right? Because what we hear a lot of is they don't want this player, they don't want that player, but a lot of times it's the contract. So we got to separate the contract. Just kind of reminiscent of the Russell Westbrook situation, where it's like, okay, they want the player, like teams might be interested in the player, but the guy's making damn near $50 million. And in this scenario, you got D'Angelo Russell making $19 million with the player option. So maybe in the beginning of the season when the Lakers signed him, it seemed like a team friendly deal as far as like being a tradable asset down the road. It's kind of fucked up that they thought it like that, but that was the initial thought when he got signed. That's what you was hearing, that it was a team friendly deal for both sides, and down the road it could potentially be a contract that's tradable, along with the Gabe Vincent contract, but that doesn't seem tradable either now, does it? So this is where we're at. And if D'Angelo, if he was playing the way he's playing now, if he was playing like that all season, then this probably wouldn't even be a conversation. You know what I mean? We probably already have Dejounte Murray. And I say me because, I say we because it's my team, my Los Angeles Lakers. So, with that being said, let's break the shit down. Dejounte Murray. This makes all the sense in the world. As you can see, what I lamented to in other videos, the Lakers need another 20-point scorer. They don't need a superstar, but we need something damn near close to it. And this guy, and I want to be clear, because Dejounte Murray, he's currently averaging 21 points a game, 5 and 5, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, on 47% shooting from the field, 38% shooting from three, and 2 steals. Now, let's break that average down, because a lot of people, we've seen this before, right? A lot of people say you can't just throw another guy that averages 20 with LeBron and AD and think that it's going to work. But in this scenario, I think it does work, because they don't need that 20 points to translate right away. It's the other things that are going to translate right away. Those 2 steals, let's break that down. He's a career two steals a game guy. So that's going to defense always translates first. So that's going to translate immediately, especially if he was to be thrown in the lineup with Jared Vanderbilt, who I'm assuming they're going to keep. That's not the guy you're hearing in the trade conversations, even though I have put him in trade scenarios in the past. That was for other guys. That was a different day. Today we're going to focus on this shit. So that part of the game, I think, will translate immediately. Another thing I want to point out, that 38%, you've heard me say it in the past. We've seen, excuse me for my voice, I'm a little sick. We've seen it before. Guys that shoot 38% from three come to the Lakers, and all of a sudden they can't shoot shit. They can't shoot for shit. We've seen it over and over again. DJ Augustine, Wayne Ellington, Wes Matthews, Danny Green. I can keep going. We've seen Pat Bev when he came to the team. Was he not shooting 39, 38% from three? Couldn't shoot for shit. when he came to the squad. Shooting in the Lakers jersey is different than shooting in other jerseys. I don't know why for the life of me, but it's a fucking fact. Maybe it's the lights, maybe it's the city, maybe they off the loud. I don't know what it is, but guys just can't do it. They just can't do it. But I think this dude, because he is a basically career 38% guy. So I think that'll translate. And that doesn't mean he's a sharpshooter. There are guys that shoot a higher percentage. We don't need him to be a sharpshooter. That just means that his shot is respectable enough that you got to honor it. And that you got to, it's respectable enough that opens up the other aspects of his game, which is really getting downhill. He got a little mid-range game. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. But it's the other things too. Now let's talk about the assists. The assist is down to 5 assists a game, but he's a high assist guy. He just hasn't been that since he joined with the Hawks. In fact, his last season with the Spurs, he averaged 9 assists. First year with the Hawks, that dropped down to 6, which you knew it was going to dip because he's sharing the ball with Trae. Now, this season, it dropped down to 5. If he stays another season, that'll probably drop down to 3. Now, these guys, I'm not saying that they don't get along. You've seen what happened the other night when he hit that game winner and Trae was on the other end of the court yelling timeout, looking at the coach like, what the fuck is going on? I just think it's the system. Maybe Quinn Snyder, maybe he don't know how to use these guys, but you got two. They should be better than they are right now, currently. So I think at some point, you got to blow it up. Which brings me to my next point, the main point, the trade scenario. So what I propose, a 3-team trade between the Utah Jazz, stay with me, the Atlanta Hawks, and my Los Angeles Lakers. This is how we get this trade done. And no, I'm not just talking about that first guy. Because it's been reported numerous times that the Hawks want Austin Reeves. The Lakers had no interest in trading Austin Reeves for Dejounte Murray. So what am I proposing? The Atlanta Hawks agree to trade Trae Young, Dejounte Murray, and Bogdan Bogdanovic to my Los Angeles Lakers. My Los Angeles Lakers trade D'Angelo Russell and Taurean Prince. Maybe JHS if you got it. In exchange for Colin Sexton, which they will put in a package to send to Atlanta. So it'll be Colin Sexton, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. Throw Gabe Vincent in there if they'll take his contract. Jackson Hayes, that 2029 pick. And hell, throw in a second round pick if you got. I don't even know if the Lakers got any more picks. But throw that in. So it'll be a total of like 6 or 7 players going back to the Hawks. Hell, maybe you can get the Jazz to throw in a pick swap. In exchange for Trae Young, Dejounte Murray, and Bogdan Bogdanovic. 3 guys that you're bound to lose. Now, why would this make sense? We know why it would make sense for the Lakers. Why would it make sense for the Jazz first? If you're the Jazz, you've been trying to trade Colin Sexton. If you could pair D'Angelo Russell, who's hot right now, if you compare him, hey, it looks like you're just missing a point guard. You don't need him for the long term. That money will come off your books. Maybe you can use him in another trade. But if he's playing well, he jump right in there with your guys, Jordan Clarkson. It's clear the 2 guys you're building around is Lauri Markkanen and Jordan Clarkson. You can throw THT in there as well. So that's why it would make sense for the Jazz. As far as why it makes sense for the Hawks, well, you probably got, I say, another season with Trae Young until he's asking out, especially in today's day and age. So you might as well get ahead of the curve. And he's been in trade talks the last 2 seasons anyway. Let's keep it real. You want Austin Reeves. We'll give him to you. But even if we were to give you him and you paired him with Trae Young, that's a cool backcourt, I guess. If you're looking at Austin Reeves as an upgrade from Dejounte Murray, which right now that wouldn't make any sense, given the statistics that I just laid out. Now maybe he has better upside, maybe you view it that way. But like I said, you probably got 1 or 2 more seasons with Trae Young, and currently constructed, you're not a move away. You're not in where OKC is right now, where it's like they're just a move away. All they need is one guy, Kevin Durant, to be honest, which I'll save that topic for another day. But you're not. If you were to drop Kevin Durant on the Hawks right now, it's presently constructed, that team still wouldn't be better than Boston. It still wouldn't be better than Philly. It still wouldn't be better than Milwaukee. It still wouldn't be better than the Heat. Hell, I don't think it'd be better than the Knicks. They'd be right where they at. They'd be the Suns of the East. So you're not a move away. You would need a free agent to say, I'm going to go play with Trae and Dejounte. Who would be that guy? And you would need to trade for a guy. And then you be in the mix. But even then, you're not better than those 3 teams that I just named, and those are the teams that you would have to beat. So what is your ceiling this year? If you make the playoffs, a first round exit, depending on who you play. Because you're not beating those teams that I just named. So maybe being in the middle of the pack is cool, mediocrity, as far as you can still sell tickets with Trae's. You know, people still buying Trae's jersey and his shoes and stuff. So maybe for some teams, that seemingly seems to be enough, and you can see it with the product that they put out there. And you can see the empty stadiums. So it will make sense for the Hawks to get ahead of the curve. Take what we giving you. Now you got a future backcourt that could be something with Colin Sexton and Austin Reeves. That's a nice backcourt as far as something to build on. You lose out this season, maybe, and boom, you get a draft pick. One of those draft picks playing out, and maybe you trade one. Maybe you put some of them other guys, Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, maybe put some of those guys in the trade package. Boom. Now you're where OKC is within 2 seasons. As opposed to dragging out the next 2 seasons with Trae Young. He asked out, and you're going to be right here. But this time, you'll be right here with less assets. Because if Trae Young gets hurt, y'all in the lottery. You know, God forbid, I'm not wishing that at all. But if he's got to miss significant time at any point, y'all be a Spurs. So get ahead of it now. Get a bright young star in Austin Reeves. I think Colin Sexton in the right system can be an all-star. 1 or 2 seasons, you look up, that team go from being competitive next season to contending in the East the next season after that. Then you a piece or 2 away. Now, as far as the Lakers, this makes sense, baby. What did we say we were targeting in the trade market? Looking to add speed and athleticism in the backcourt, which currently your backcourt does not give you that. As much as I like Austin Reeves and D'Lo, I don't think anybody would say that they're speedy and athletic. But them other two guys, and like I just said earlier, I don't think it's a fact of them two not being able to play together. They obviously can play together, but you put them in the right system and you give them LeBron James and Anthony Davis as teammates. Now we're talking about something. And you can plug them two right into the starting lineup. Trae Young at the 1, Dejounte Murray at the 2, Vanderbilt at the 3, LeBron at the 4, Anthony Davis at the 5, even though we know LeBron will be playing quarterback, orchestrating the whole get down, which would be beautiful because he'll have a shooter in Trae Young. And even though I don't look at Trae Young as a sharpshooter, I look at him as a guy that can create off the dribble. His shot is so respectable that it opens up those other aspects of his game. The floater, killing you off the dribble. The pick and roll with him and Anthony Davis would be ridiculous. The pick and roll with him and LeBron would be ridiculous. The pick and pop would be ridiculous. And then as far as your bench goes, you got Christian Wood at the 5. You got Cam Reddish. You would have Cam Reddish at the 4. He would have to play stretch 4. Bogdanovich at the 3. That would strengthen your bench. Max Christie at the 2. And maybe you go get Kyle Lowry on the buyout market. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for free. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Trae Young and Dejounte Murray? Can we get that? Or should we stay pat? Because last I checked, I'm sure the Lakers are still getting their ass kicked by the Rockets right now. We just can't seem to get on a win streak. We win one, we lose one. We win a good game against a good team. We lose a bad one against a bad team. As presently constructed, we are not a championship team. We're a play-in team. So let's stop fucking playing and let's make something happen. But I'll tap back in later. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Peace.